Hey there, Taurus. It's beginning of April right now, and we are doing a reading for April of 2020. You're probably stuck inside your home, and I hope that you're doing well. I hope you're not going crazy, and I hope that you are, I hope you feel alright, because things are crazy right now. And on that note, I'm going to start your reading. April 2020, Taurus. That's an interesting start. So we got, the tower here on the bottom of the deck. And we've got this queen and king out here. But it looks like they're in a stalemate. You can't really see very well because of the sun. Let me pull these down here. So let me actually show you. You got the Queen of Wands, the Two of Swords, and the King of Wands. So, I don't know, maybe you have a relationship that either you have a relationship that you're in, or you have a relationship that you're waiting for. Maybe you're in a no communication kind of situation, because whatever it is, it seems like you have these two people who want to come together. They want to be together. And for some reason, there is something between them that is preventing that from happening. And I'm thinking one of you maybe is in your head too much. One of you is in your thoughts too much and is unable to trust letting the situation play out the way it needs to, or just letting their guard down, because the swords are typically the intellect. They're thinking, and the thing in between the two of you is Two of Swords, and this Queen of Swords here suggests that one of you is more in this headspace, and that is the thing that is keeping you. And then one of you is more, you're more connected, you're more passionate in this connection. I feel like you're less in your head and you're more in an intuitive and just a more stable energy. And I think it's kind of funny because the queen is the one I'm associating with having the blocked energy. And it's funny because she is reaching out. It's like she wants to offer her hand and be like, I want to connect with you. I want to connect. But then she gets in her head and she pulls back. She stops herself from connecting for whatever reason. And I'm not saying that it is the woman necessarily in your situation doing that. It's the female in this connection who is in that energy, but that's the way it's reflected here. Both of these cards are actually female. The Two of Swords and the Queen of Swords are females depicted in the cards. But then, like I said, you've got the Tower at the bottom, so maybe this is going to shift suddenly. Okay, more insight into the Two of Swords here. So I feel like this person is going to I don't know. We got the Three of Swords there, so maybe they're just going to be going back and forth. Because I was going to say that they are they're going to have a change in judgment in their assessment of the situation, and it's going to change their behavior, but maybe not. There we go. Well, I do think that. Maybe the change of judgment is away from this broken-hearted energy, this emotionally disappointing energy. And again, it's the swords represented here. It's these swords that are, it's the intellect. It's being too in your head and not being able to trust the way things need to develop. But then there's, here you've got the judgment, and this angel is blowing this horn. And I think it's waking them up. It's waking them up, and it's transforming them into the Queen of Cups instead of the Queen of Swords. And they're going to become more in touch with their emotions and less in the less in their head, less in their upper energy, and bring it down a bit more to their heart center, and say they're gonna stop blocking themselves when they want to reach out, because I really feel like now they want to reach out. And again, like this is being represented on this side a lot with female energy, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we're talking about the female in whatever this connection is. But it really does feel like they want to. If this is like a no contact situation, or you're just in a relationship where you keep feeling like somebody is pulling back and you don't know what to make of it because they seem like they're into you and then they seem like they're not, or something, one of those kinds of situations. I feel like they do like you and they do care about you and they do want there to be a deeper connection, but they are just doubting it because they're in their heads. We're going to just start from scratch now. Because, I think that that's a pretty clear complete message in what that wanted to tell us. And if we need to continue further down that road, it'll show up in the cards. Well, I guess we need to continue down that road. Because the first card out again is the Queen of Swords. We've got the Queen of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords. So again, it's like this pattern of, I want to reach out. I want to reach out my hand. I've got something that I want to offer you. And we've got the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom. We keep getting these queens, right? So maybe you're dealing with an earth sign, I don't know, but with the Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles here, and the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, and they're saying, doesn't this just look like somebody who's saying, like, I want to offer my heart to you, even though the Pentacles don't typically represent that? You know what I mean? they've got kind of a look of adoration on their face, and they're um, holding out their pentacle like, hey, I want you to have this. But then they get in their head. They get in their head and they say, it's the exact same thing as before. It's this swords energy, this mental activity that's saying, they're saying, I want to make this offer. And then they're just like, I can't. I can't do it. What is it? I think that it's going to change. I think you're going to at least have communication from this person. Because I mean, that's what the Eight of Wands is all about, is about messages coming in, and soon. Messages coming in quickly. But I don't know what it is. Maybe they finally start listening to their intuition. Maybe you need to trust your intuition. Maybe you've been trusting your intuition. And that's the thing that's going to lead away from this Five of Cups energy and into the death energy, which is, it's not bad. It's just like the situation is going to change. It's going to change dramatically. And I think you're going to have communication about this, and I think that it's going to make things a lot better. And if it doesn't make things better in the sense that things work out with this person, which that's the way it seems, like that things will improve and your connection will have a chance to flourish a little more. But I think at worst case scenario is that you have this communication. It brings clarity, brings greater clarity, and you at least have a better idea of where you stand and what you're working with. You know, it's not just like, because in that initial series of cards where there's just the stalemate, it's like, what am I doing? Like the King of Wands is just, sitting back kind of observing, but he's blocked off from the Queen by the Two of Swords, and she's blindfolded. And I feel like there's this air of just not being able to see and understand the situation clearly. So I think that at the very least, there will be clarity. There will be a greater sense of understanding of what you're actually even dealing with. And on that note, we're going to call it good. Have a good month, Taurus.